Please, Bishop, we'll give you the first word, please.
In lieu of all of the crime, and first and foremost, the Word of God tells us to give honor to whom honor is due. And when we have victims of crime, we can't dismiss their reality. I recently sat with Greg Landsman and our local FBI, and we were having discussion about these things. And one of the future governor, one of the questions or statements that I made was, when these things happen, we all jump and on either side of the track. But what I'm noticing is there's not enough training, especially for us clergy who have a rather large audience. There's not enough training to educate us on what's a violated law and what's wrong but unprosecutable. Should God place you in your desired seat at the head of this fine state, would you be open to gathering clergy from both sides of the aisle, as Pastor Corey and I call it, come together tour, and sit people down and train us and educate us on what's prosecutable offenses versus what's law, so that we can teach our people that even though these things happen, like in Lincoln Heights, when people came, folks thought that was a crime. But we heard then it wasn't prosecutable, and it left people angry. My question, dear sir, what would be your stance to the people I serve and that we all serve?
Thank you, Bishop. We appreciate that question. The answer to your question directly is, would we be receptive to including and engaging clergy in that? Absolutely. The answer to that question is yes, and it knows no race, it knows no gender, it knows no partisan boundary. I mean, you could say both sides of the aisle. You can have neither side of the aisle. We had neither side of the aisle right here in Christopher. People may not know this. Christopher's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's independent. This is an issue that doesn't, we could give that a round of applause. We're fine with that. We have proud Republicans on this stage. And we welcome Democrats, Republicans, or anybody else who wants to address this issue in the audience and in this movement, from the clergy to our everyday citizens. But you're right. Training on many levels is the lowest hanging fruit. Training for law enforcement is not a criticism. It's actually a reflection on what we can do better to support law enforcement, to make sure that that training is current. Training for other leaders. There are many kinds of leaders, not just political leaders. Our pastors, our church leaders are indeed leaders. Our school leaders, our principals, our teachers. The kind of training that we need to draw those distinctions, training for, God forbid, emergency situations, but also even training for knowing where the law stops and where the exercise of speech begins. Now, you brought up the incident in Lincoln Heights, not far from where I grew up. I grew up in Cincinnati, right off I-75, Greater Cincinnati, in Evendale. I went to Princeton schools through 8th grade. Lincoln Heights school district feeds into Princeton. It's a predominantly black school district in Lincoln Heights, feeding into Princeton, where I went through junior high school. That was a heinous event, right, where you have people marching with hateful messages through their words. And that deserves to be condemned in the marketplace of ideas. But to make a down payment on what we will continue for many years to come, we'll start tonight with one bit of training. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And violence is never an acceptable response to words. That's who we are. So when you fight bad speech, here's how you fight it. It's with more speech. It's with the truth. It's what's right. You defeat them in the marketplace of ideas. That's how we do it in America. But we do it in a manner where violence is never the acceptable method to settle our disputes. And I don't care whether you're black or white, red or blue, man or woman. That's what unites us. E pluribus unum, we say for a reason. It's our national creed. From many, one. That is a basic principle that I believe, Bishop, unites all of us. So thank you for that question. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you.